You're watching Global Insight, where we speak to experts from around the world on issues making headlines. Now, South Korea and Canada are joining hands to help new ideas turn into innovative businesses. Ahead of the two countries' celebration of 60 years of diplomatic ties next year, we spotlight how the two sides are moving forward to foster greater collaboration, this time in nurturing startups in some of their most innovative cities. Marie-Anne is Vice President of Investment Quebec International. She is visiting South Korea as part of these efforts, and she joins us in studio today. And we also invite Cindy Romero-Luarca, co-CEO of a Canadian startup in Seoul. And it's a company called HerbiaEra, which is a smart farm business that proves the blossoming relationship between the two countries. Thank you both for joining us today. And well, again, welcome, Marie-Anne. Thank you for coming all the way to our studio.
Thank you so much. Thanks for the invitation.
Right. And well, I understand that you were in Incheon City recently to forge an MOU with the local authorities there in taking your innovation partnership forward. So could you tell us more about that?
Yes, thank you. Yes, I'm visiting Seoul this week to find new opportunities for Quebec companies, Quebec innovative companies. And part of that was the organization of a Incheon Meets Quebec symposium. So that was earlier this week, and within the symposium, we were really happy to sign the agreement, an MOU between Santec and Incheon Tech Park. So that was it was a first step, not a first step, but it was a new step, I guess, into finding some opportunities for Quebec startup in South Korea. Santec is one of Quebec's largest startup incubator accelerator with really expertise in deep technology such as biotechnology, artificial intelligence, which is a really good fit to Incheon actually. So we were really happy about it. And so the MOU is about, I would say, general things you see in MOU about information exchange, collaborative opportunities in B2B, pitch session, and so on. But I think also what's really interesting is that within the MOU, there's also a joint acceleration program that will help South Korean companies come to Quebec to explore the ecosystem there, and also Quebec companies like HerbiaEra that we have this morning come to South Korea to also explore opportunities here. So I think this is really a good opportunity for both of them. So we're hoping to have the program running by next year. So that's a good thing. So we're really happy about it. It was a new step in our collaboration.
Hey, that sounds very exciting indeed. And well, what do you think makes South Korea an attractive partner for innovation?
Well, South Korea is really at the forefront of innovation and technology. So we're obviously I know it didn't come overnight. So South Korea has been investing in many years in time, money, and talents and now you're up to 5% of your GDP invest in research and development. So that's great. So you're an amazing partner. I think it's second position just after Israel in terms of innovation nation. So Quebec, I think we're doing very good as well. So in Quebec, we've been investing also in research and development for many years. We're actually invest 2.5% of our GDP in research and development. So not up to South Korea level yet, but still, it's really an important topic to us. So, and we just launched the last spring our new research innovation strategy. So it's for the next 5 years. So it's up to 7.5 billion that will be invested. So I think it's already so it's a good setup to have new partnerships with South Korea. So and Quebec it's such an interesting, South Korea is such an interesting innovation nation for us that there's already a lot of collaboration between Quebec companies and South Korean companies, innovative companies. So for example, we have many Quebec companies already involved here with large Korean groups. So for example, in construction and infrastructure, so we have SNC-Lavalin, WSP, also in the transport industry where we have CAE, Créaform, so all innovative Quebec companies involved here, working with partner with Samsung, Lotte, and Shinsegae. So a lot of already action happening. And on the other hand, we're very lucky and we feel very thankful for South Korean companies that have decided to come to Quebec as well. So we have, for example, Samsung AI Lab that is in Montreal already. And most recently, we were able to announce a new investment from South Korean company, POSCO Chemical, that is coming to Quebec, and other Solus Advanced Material as well coming. So I think it's really going to foster even more the collaboration between our innovative companies. So maybe now Quebec is more known for famous series The Goblin that were shot in Quebec City. So I think maybe the general public knows Quebec for this show. But I'm sure that in a couple of years, in a couple of months, you'll know Quebec for its innovation.
Right, and we've certainly got all the big players there, but we're very excited about the new sort of startups that are starting to crop up between the two countries as well. And we're actually joined by one of these very innovative companies. Cindy, now thank you for joining us via Skype. And well, first of all, please tell us about your product and what makes it an innovation that we all need.
Yes, thank you so much. So HerbiaEra's mission is to simplify and optimize indoor growing, not only for indoor farmers, but also for consumers at home. So our substrate is innovative because the growing medium of the plant, the substrate, has a unique and patented composition. It already contains the seeds and the nutrients to make it easier and to grow a healthy plant at home and in smart farms. So the irrigation system is passive as well. So you don't have to water the plant. The plant is auto-regulated in nutrients, in seeds, and in water as well. So it saves a lot of time, human labor, and energy consumption. So during the pandemic, we saw that food production is one of the most urgent challenges of our time. So governments and individuals are looking more and more of food autonomy in the future. So this is one of the main innovation I think we have, that our product have.
And you started off in Canada, of course, but you came to Korea as part of the K-Startup Grand Challenge, I believe. Well, please, could you tell us about your journey?
Yes, absolutely. So first of all, we're really happy to be here in South Korea. We've arrived in end of July, so as part of the KSGC. We've been here for 3 months now. So the KSGC is a very important and global competition. We've been selected among more than 2,600 startups globally. So only 60 startups were selected to come here in South Korea for the commercial mission. So we were really thrilled to get the news and truly happy to get into the program. So since we arrived, Korea has been truly great for us so far, honestly. So the support from the Korean government and all organizations that are implied into the program is extraordinary. So we have we're truly delighted as well because we've been supported by many Korean local people. So KSGC provided us a local Korean intern. So honestly, I think to be supported by local people and also by the Quebec government here in Seoul has been truly helpful in order for us to move forward in South Korea.
Right, so we're seeing collaborations here, networks expanding, and well, Mariam, what do you think are some key areas that should really be highlighted through further South Korea-Canada cooperation?
I talked briefly about the battery ecosystem. So I think this is a really good sector where we can work together. Like I said, there's already South Korean companies that are starting operation in Quebec. So I don't know if you might not be aware of that, but in Quebec, we do have the natural resources, and also we have a clean energy. So 99% of our energy is produced by hydropower. So altogether, that makes it like a really, I think, interesting industry. But in terms of innovation, we have a company called Lithium Recycling that is putting back the active material into the production cycle. So that's a very, I think, interesting innovation. So the whole battery ecosystem, because of course it's the future for both South Korea and Quebec and North America. So I think this is a really interesting topic. And this Quebec company who's recycling active material also has an agreement with the South Korean company. So this is another area where we really have have opportunities to work together. Obviously, I would say also artificial intelligence. So that's a hot topic everywhere in the world. And in Quebec, we're lucky enough to have a very large, actually the Canadian largest research center in terms of artificial intelligence is based in Montreal with over 1,000 researchers. So, and it brought around the full ecosystem for artificial intelligence. So, and that's what I mentioned, that Samsung AI Labs is already there. So I think AI is another very strong topic. And also this week, we were featured in 2 other conferences in South Korea about creative industries. So that's also another sector, very innovative sectors, because if you think about VFX, AR, VR, gaming, immersive experiences, so this is another really, I think, high innovative industry that is really an opportunity to work together. Again, we have a lot of Quebec companies working already with large South Korean group like Paradise City, Lotte World. So it's already a sector that I think has brought many possibilities of collaboration, and I can see that will grow further.
Right, I see. Lots to look forward to there. And well, in terms of your company, HerbiaEra, Cindy, what makes your innovation, well, quintessentially Canadian, and how do you think your product has become, well, Koreanized in a way? I mean, how are you collaborating with South Korean companies here and technology as well to really enhance your product?
Yeah, that's a very good question, actually. So basically, I think that why our innovation is Canadian, it's because during the last 4 years, we've been doing a lot of research and development in collaboration with Canadian and Quebec research centers like BioTear. So basically, with all the grants and incentives that the government from Canada and Quebec provides to us, we could have a product that is now commercialized globally. So I think this is a major thing first. So in terms of how our product become Koreanized, as you mentioned, since we arrived, our strategy in South Korea has been to partner with South Korean startups for many reasons, but also because we knew by working together would make a product that is much more stronger in terms of market reach. So for example, we're partnering with a Korean startup right now. So we will use the design of our smart plant, HerbiaEra, but we will add also a very popular Korean brand of characters on it, because we know that branding is a very important thing here in South Korea because consumers relate a lot to brands. So just like, for example, by using our design and using a character brand here in South Korea would make the product even more Koreanized, as you mentioned, and reach out to more consumers. Yeah.
Sure. And well, what do you think makes South Korea the place to do business, and what are also some improvements that you'd like to see going forward?
Well, I think South Korea is a really ideal place to make business because it's a huge market. So the potential of the growth and the potential of the market is really important. It's up to now, South Korea has been truly great for us so far. So we're really grateful about that. A lot of things makes it easier. For example, the free trade agreement between Canada and South Korea, the political stability of South Korea as well. I know that South Korea also has many support, government support for startups. So I think for all of these reasons, South Korea is a great place. And that's why we decided to make it as our second headquarters to do business for the Asia Pacific region. So, and in terms of improvements, actually, I would say that language can be a barrier. So I think to complete your team with a local Korean person, as we did, and that we have now hired a Korean employee, is essential to do business in South Korea. Because if you do it alone, I don't think you would go that far in terms of reach out. So I think this is really important, like to create connections, not only for business, but also for human connections with South Korean people.
Right, we look forward to a lot more collaboration between our two sides. And well, before we go, now, what do you think are some core aspects of making innovation work? I mean, innovation is something that cities, countries everywhere want to do right now.
You're right, but I think the key is international collaboration, right? And that at every stages in terms of fundamental research. So to build partnerships with at the beginning. So for example, we have partnerships with Korea National Research Foundation. So really to build on advanced materials. So really build the collaboration at early stage up to startup exchange program, like we signed earlier this week. And then we have HerbiaEra here. So really in terms of when starting to commercialize, so at the startup level, and up to proof of concept, where we also have collaboration, because obviously every nation, every country has a different angle, different ideas and different things to bring to the table. So when you want to foster innovation and make it a success, if you can bring all these angles together with different international partners, I think it really makes it like a solid innovation on its way to success. I think that's really what it's all about.
Right, bring these strengths together really to create this huge synergy that we're already starting to see with Cindy's company as well, right?
Exactly.
Well, thank you both so much for coming on our show today. And well, we'll have to wrap things up here, but that was Marie-Anne, Vice President of Investment Quebec International, and Cindy Romero-Luarca, co-CEO of HerbiaEra. Thank you both again so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Also, a big thank you to our viewers for tuning into Global Insight. Global Insight runs from Monday to Friday, South Korea time, so please join us again. And wherever you are in the world, have a great day.